Hey everyone, it's Naiharo here, and who am I with?
Kieron Kelly, Larian Studios.
Awesome. And you've been with the company for a little bit. We were chatting yesterday.
Yeah, I've been with the company just about 9 years now in April. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, I mean, I think everybody probably knows about Baldur's Gate at this point. You guys also have a board game that you just came out with. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so Divinity Origins of the board game, it's been a long time coming. We kickstarted back in 2019. So it's gone through quite a journey because we essentially made a game that we realized wasn't quite what we were aiming for. We had to go back to the drawing board a little bit, so we took some extra time to do that. So we're just delighted that it's finally on the tables. All the backers have been fulfilled. Shop orders have been fulfilled at the moment. So we're now finally launching the game. It's great.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but you've been involved in that process. You're one of the designers of that, or
Yeah, so I basically led the project, but it's a big team, right? Like we had, I think, 2 core designers, but the team itself is a good 10 people. So it was actually a really big team effort to get that game out the door. And then not even including all the artists. Like if you include everybody, artists, playtesters, all of which would have been paid playtesters at the time, we're all over 30 people made that game. So it really is a big team effort.
That's really cool. So what do you do at Larian?
I do a little bit of everything. I'm a guy with many hats, but my title is Larian's publishing coordinator.
Okay.
So I work with the publishing team primarily, and basically I help out with lots of different things. So if you've seen anything from Larian, publishing, marketing-wise, usually my fingerprints are at least a little bit on it.
Okay.
And then the board game just happened because of my passion for board games, and we needed someone to kind of care for the IP. And then when we had to reinvent the wheel, we built a new team. I ended up taking on a bigger role.
So you're a board game fan?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So what are a couple of your favorites? Not to put you on the spot too much.
Oh well, my top 3 even today is probably something like Mage Knight, Dungeon Lords, and Yeno.
Okay. Awesome.
So I do like they're all quite old. There's quite a few new ones coming up. I've been playing an absolute load of Dead Reckoning recently. Actually, I've got a group of friends that are playing Dead Reckoning. I'm not sure if you've played it.
I haven't.
It's like a campaign pirate game. It's awesome.
Okay, check it out.
Yeah.
That's cool. Can you? So I know that Larian and you guys have talked about your general studio design philosophy and stuff like that. But can you talk to us about it for those who maybe don't know? You guys have made some decisions that aren't necessarily in your financial best interest.
We don't like. Our goal is to make games that we want to make, and basically what games that we want to actually play a lot of the time as well. So a huge amount of the team, the core team, and I'm even thinking of a lot of the kind of legacy folks who've been around even longer than I am. It's a very large portion of the staff have been 10 plus years at Larian, and all of those people, all of us have such a huge passion for RPGs, and we love playing them. And so when a new RPG comes out that we didn't make, we actually get to enjoy that, right?
Yeah.
Because we enjoy what we make, but we want to make literally great RPGs because that's what we're passionate about. And so it's not about, and because of Sven and because of the leadership that we have and that flexibility that he gives us, it's like, no, we're going to focus on what we're passionate about. And that was what the shift was about. It wasn't actually about the partnership so much as, this is, we've done our story there. The team are more passionate about this, so let's pursue what we're most passionate about.
Yeah, and I'll just say this real quick because I wouldn't want you to say it. When you look at Divinity 1 and 2, and then you look at Baldur's Gate 3, Baldur's Gate 3 is a great game. It's definitely more refined in my opinion. The systems you guys had in Divinity 1 and 2, I personally was more interested in playing, and I thought that there was a lot of really fun things you guys did. So I'm excited to see what you guys do in the future.
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely some challenges with the edition. Obviously, just trying to make the tabletop game come into the video game space.
Yeah.
So I know our designers had a lot of fun with that anyway. But there's no question that with them, if they had a free hand, do whatever you want.
So whatever comes into your mind.
And that brings its own risks and challenges, but the guys will be excited about it, which usually breeds a lot of creativity. So I hope that it's going to be still as exciting as Dustin was.
Yeah, definitely. This is going to be kind of a deep cut for those of us who have played Divinity. I certainly noticed, and I'm asking this for my wife if I'm being honest. Divinity 1, Divinity 2, you guys had some really cool stories, and you had some depressing animal stories. Incredibly depressing. Like the the shark is on the beach. He's beached himself, and she's like trying to help him. She's casting rain, and the shark is just like, no, just let me die.
Or just pulling those heartstrings.
Don't remember the bunny's name, but in the was I think the second act, with the witch. Anyways, I'll pop up some footage of it.
Yeah.
They've gotten better. Has whoever was making these, have they gotten help? What's going on here?
What, the animals?
Yeah.
I mean, we can't control what the world does to those animals. That's like blaming the DM for the evil person. That's not fair. It just depends on the situation that you find yourself in, right? Baldur's Gate 3 is a lot more wilderness, while as the original, especially DOS 2, you are in a prison, so it's a much more desolate environment than you find yourself in at the beginning of the game, especially. So, it really, honestly, for those types of things, the writers get to have fun in the environment that they create narratively for themselves. So it really does depend on the narrative, the setting that they're in at that moment, at that time, and what animals you might find in that scenario.
Okay.
So I think it says more about DOS 2 than about the writers between the different games.
Okay, cool. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to talk with me. I was in with, what got you into gaming? What brought you to be a gamer?
Boy, I mean, my first video game was probably, I got the original Game Boy. So it was Tetris and the original Mario. That would be my two kind of big games. But I mean, what really hooked me was the PlayStation 1 era. And for me, RPGs, incorrectly probably, but it would have been starting with JRPGs because it was Final Fantasy 7 for me when I was a teenager. Yeah. And then my first PC, it was the Fallout 1 and 2. Those games hooked me, and I've been probably too addicted ever since.
Well, I appreciate you taking the time to talk to a small YouTuber like me.
No worries at all, man.
Appreciate it, man.